Eating Things, and you're watching Less Than Rhetorical. And today we are talking all about this feature right here called leaning in the game of Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is not like Call of Duty and some other games where you walk around the map with a static character, as I'm displaying right now. You have in Rainbow Six a feature to be able to lean to the left and to the right so that your head actually moves slightly on your character to the left or to the right on the character. You do this by ADSing with your ADS feature and leaning either left or right. In my case, I'm on controllers, so I pull the left trigger and I push in on my right or my left thumbstick to go left, my right thumbstick to go right. If I un-ADS, I'm still leaned in my character, and I can ADS and then switch sides very quickly. So I'm ADSing, pushing right, and then letting go, and I'm un-ADSed and still leaned. If I want to reset this lean, I can sprint and I reset. I can reload, and I reset, and a number of other functions that allow me to reset, such as ADSing back in and then centering my character by pushing on the right joystick on the character. So why would I need this feature? So I've got Alibi set up right here. Hello, Alibi. And Alibi is on this door frame right here. Now, if I'm looking at Alibi, Alibi is not leaning. She's ADS'd. She's not even ADS'd, but she's just in this position right here. From Alibi's perspective, she can see nothing. Okay? From my perspective, back here in this other Alibi, I can see half of Alibi's body. If Alibi were to lean to the right, Alibi would now be able to see the other Alibi clone that is currently there and be able to engage in a battle. But when unleaned to the left, I said right, but I meant left. You guys know what I mean, right? So left, she's leaning to the left, she can see. But when not leaning, she can't see anything. So what the leaning feature in Rainbow Six gives you the ability to do is increase your perspective. So I can see more information because I'm moving the camera on the character, which the camera on the character is right here in between the eyes. You're moving the camera on the character to the right or left of the character, allowing you to get more vantage of your surroundings. So the question becomes, what is the correct way to lean in all situations? So I see a lot of people that will do this. They're like, oh, I know this Alibi is here. I'm going to engage in a fight with her, and I'm going to lean this way and move out. This is incorrect. The reason why this is incorrect is the same reason why I can see Alibi's shoulder, but Alibi can't see me. It's because of perspective. If I am leaned in this direction, I have no vantage of Alibi. But Alibi could be leaned correctly, her head being right where I've got my crosshair right now, and she would have a full vantage of my body, even though I would not see any of her because I'm leaned incorrectly. So the advantage goes to the Alibi over there and not to me in the gunfight. Where if I'm leaned correctly, then I have the advantage in the gunfight because I can now see, or at least it's a fair gunfight, where we can see each other's heads at the same time. Now, if she's not leaned correctly, I can see her body. And I can engage her body or get ready to engage and pre-fire because I know she's going to actually peek out and try to go for a gunfight. So if I'm pre-firing here, as she's going for a gunfight, I am more likely to win that battle. So my leaning to the left in this situation gives me the advantage in the gunfight, where if I was leaned to the right, it does not. Now, I've heard people say things like, oh, but I'm trying to be unpredictable, and by having my head over here, I'm unpredictable. Or, oh, look, I'm actually leaning to the right like I would be, if this was my cover, I'd be able to see you more clearly. No, the answer is you're not being unpredictable. And by leaning yourself out of the cover that's closest to you, you're exposing yourself and giving Alibi the chance to win that gunfight. At higher ranks, Alibi will simply pre-fire and you'll be dead. So, no, this is incorrect. This is correct. And here is the rule. The rule when it comes to leaning. I lean in the opposite direction of the cover that is closest to me. Okay? This all depends on where your enemy's at, right? If I know my enemy is over here, well, then the opposite direction of the cover that's closest to me, this would be the cover that's closest to me. And so I would lean in the opposite direction, which would be right, because the cover's on my left. On the flip side, if my enemy is on the left, then I got my lefts and rights mixed up. If my enemy is on my right, then I lean in the opposite direction of this cover, which is to the left instead of to the right. And so therefore I can see Alibi easier. And here I can get a vantage on Alibi easier. So you lean in the opposite direction of the cover that is closest to you. And of course, knowing where your enemy is positioned is going to determine what cover is actually closest to you. So if I was going through the map, I'm closest to this cover right here. I'm going to lean to the right, which is the opposite direction of the cover that's closest to me. Now I'm going to lean to the left because this is the cover that's closest to me. If, however, I'm standing here and I know my enemy is behind, ignore this Alibi clone right here for a second. Let's just pick this Alibi clone up. And I know that my enemy is behind this piece of cover here. Well, I'm not behind this cover anymore. So I wouldn't lean to the right because I'm behind this cover. However, I'm not behind this cover either. So the closest cover between me and the target is this cover directly in front of me. And so leaning to the right is the best decision because it's the closest cover between me and the target. If you use this general rule of thumb, you will always have the perspective advantage no matter where you are attacking or defending, no matter where you're swinging. Again, the cover that is to the right, so therefore I'm leaning to the left. Opposite side of the cover that is closest to me. I'm pieing the room, and here, this is the cover closest to me, right here, so I was leaning that way. Now this is the cover that's closest to me, and I'm leaning this way. And I continue to switch as I go through the map. And I'm simply walking through the map, adjusting my ADS and adjusting my aim to whatever the cover that's closest to me. So notice how I did this. I was looking here. Okay, I didn't see anybody. Now I wanted to check this corner, so I backed up away from it. By the way, the further you are away from cover, the better your perspective is, which I'll show in just a second. But now I can check this corner. Now I switch my lean again to the right because the cover is now on my left. And now I'm going to switch my lean again to the left because this is my closest cover. And now I'm going to switch back to the right and switch to the left and so on. And just all the way through the map, always adjusting my lean to wherever my closest cover is, the opposite side of my closest cover. Now, let me explain perspective real quick while we're here because leaning and perspective have a lot to do with each other. If you notice, if I'm so close to this right here, well, actually, let's go back here. Let's do this. Let's put our Alibi clone right here. Now, I'm not behind this cover here. This is my closest cover at this point because I'm far back away from cover. I can see this much of the Alibi clone, okay? But even leaned correctly, watch this. Even leaned correctly, I cannot see, I'm standing right where the Alibi clone is. I cannot see myself or where I was before. I can't see that position, even leaned correctly. I'm at a perspective disadvantage because I am close to cover. If I back up away from that cover, not changing anything, but just backing up away, I don't know how far back I can actually get here. Well, you can see the amount of room I can see, but I can't actually. Let me pick this up. Here we go. There we go. All right, now I'm going to back away from cover. I'm not moving right or left. I'm just backing away. See how the more I back away, the more I can actually see, and now I can almost see Alibi's shoulder. Almost. There's Alibi's foot. You could actually see Alibi's foot. I'm going to move forward. I'm not moving left or right. I'm just moving forward. Now I can't see anything. So the perspective advantage, the further away from the object you are, the more of the room you can actually see. And so as I back up, I've actually got more of an advantage of being able to take that gunfight. So it seems like standing out in the middle right here would be a terrible decision, right? You'd think that being close to this cover would be a much better decision. But in reality, being close to this cover here means that I'm at a perspective disadvantage, where being out here would actually give me a perspective advantage, where I would be able to see this person a little bit better. So just keep that in mind when you're swinging and you're leaning left and right. But anyway, that's just all my thoughts on leaning I wanted to share. How to lean correctly. Remember the rule of thumb. Lean to the opposite side of the cover that is closest to you, between you and the target you're engaging. So just the opposite side of the cover that is closest to you, between you and your target. And I hope that answers some of your questions. Hopefully this helped, and if it did, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have other video ideas or anything like that, put in the comments, and please respond in the comments if there's other things you want to know, or other Rainbow Six Siege tips that you are looking for. I'm happy to make videos at your requests. This is a channel designed to help those who are new to the game of Rainbow Six Siege, and such a great game, fantastic game to play. I hope you enjoyed this content, and thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.